A small house with a rough wooden arch, old paint concealing a dilapidated roof, and walls covered in mold. The interior is filled with a dirty rug on the floor, a few old chairs, and a cramped kitchen table in the corner. The smell of kerosene and smoky firewood emanates from the wood-burning stove used for cooking and heating the house. The windows have no frames and are covered with rags, merely providing protection against the cold. In this hopeless house, a poor woman and her young son, a bright and intelligent boy beyond his years, live. He couldn't stand idly by as his mother worked tirelessly to support the family. Determined to become rich at all costs, he devised a detailed plan and made a solemn promise to himself never to deviate from his path. Every day, he moved closer to his goal. Even in the most difficult moments, his willpower was unwavering. But then, a mysterious stranger approached him and left a bag filled with gold beside the boy. The next day, the boy seemed to have changed. Well, that's the story. What if motivation could be easily bought? Now, the true strength of will comes into question. It's a different story when it comes to avenging oneself. It's harder to bribe revenge, and walking around with a bunch of sweaty, half-eaten sandwiches isn't so easy either. Martial arts require training and skill, although outdated, can still be acquired. At least it used to be able to. Dig a hole for 20 years just to see Morgan Freeman. Especially when the local Blue Patrol, in the form of sisters, chooses the most inconvenient moment to pound on the wall, not just any wall. We started measuring it with unpoured beer. If we look at the things that are now considered demonstrations of willpower, we can see how this concept has been devalued. It's not a matter of substituting one sweet product for another for 2 weeks, with the only difference being the label diet. It's not about working out at a convenient time in a warm and cozy gym 3 times a week. Applying willpower to quit smoking, stop procrastinating, or going to bed late is no different. These things are more like indulgences, for the most part. A person who has food and shelter doesn't need anything else. Everything else, apart from survival, is just a variety of pastimes. What is now understood as willpower is nothing more than a clever form of entertainment. Some people lie in bed after waking up and mindlessly scroll through their screens, while others, taking a cold shower, go for a run, although there is no vital necessity for a run. Just as there isn't for spending time on social media, the only difference lies in perception. Of course, keeping oneself in shape and making progress in personal development is important, but true willpower goes beyond these superficial acts. It's about summoning strength in the face of adversity, persevering through challenges, and staying committed to one's goals despite the obstacles. It's the inner fortitude that propels individuals forward, even when the external world tries to pull them back. So, while it may seem that willpower has lost its significance in today's society, the true essence of willpower lies in the unwavering determination to pursue one's dreams and overcome whatever stands in the way. At first glance, it may seem more useful and much better than just wasting time, but only at first glance. The guiding principles of people's lives change rapidly. Development is excellent in its essence, and there is nothing wrong with someone wanting to stand out from the gray mess of failures and embark on a path of progress by seeking enjoyment. Although seemingly beneficial actions differ from seemingly destructive ones, the underlying mechanism remains the same. Some indulge in laziness and drown in it, while others drown in vanity or despair. After all, what may be a volitional action for one person could be leisure and pleasure for another. It's not very strange to think that willpower can help overcome laziness and procrastination, as well as control one's emotions and desires, albeit within the boundaries of everyday life. It's peculiar how some individuals, like Lev Nikolaevich, achieved greatness in their work by writing numerous bestsellers, yet were such ardent gamblers that they had to sell half of their belongings due to debt. Strangely enough, the willpower that helped them succeed in writing books suddenly vanished when it was necessary to break free from destructive dependencies. And Tolstoy was by no means the only person of this kind. Macedonian, Hemingway, Churchill, Byron, Stephen King, the list goes on. they all succumb to their destructive habits. Does this mean they lacked willpower or were weak individuals? Hardly. Willpower is more about desperate recklessness than logic and self-control, which manifests itself in an endless belief in one's own convictions, much like monks who undergo fasting or silence. Or even self-immolation in the name of protest, without uttering a single sound. The willpower of such individuals helps them stay true to their chosen path. Money, power, fear, or pain cannot sway their will. Scientists during the Inquisition, martyrs during shifts in power. Madmen, these are just a few examples. However, this is more the exception than the rule. In any case, it cannot be said that a person is either strong-willed or weak-willed in the confines of ordinary life, at first glance. An ordinary person may behave unexpectedly in extreme circumstances. In ordinary life, there is simply no need to assault one's psyche and body in an attempt to achieve that very willpower. There are many documented instances when individuals pushed beyond their usual limits and survived, or saved desperate souls through sheer willpower. But such occurrences are not commonly witnessed in everyday life. They usually happen when a person reaches their breaking point,